Sal, you got a lot of new faces in the starting lineup this year. How important was that trip to Myrtle Beach? Not necessarily for the baseball, but just for the kids to be able to bond a little bit and get to know each other off the field.
It's pretty much the reason why we do it. I mean, it's nice. The baseball is a big part of it, and we surround that with a lot of team bonding events. You know, whether it's going out to dinner, going out for entertainment purposes, putting guys in rooms with, you know, players that are not normally hang out with. That's all part of it, you know, and that's why we do it. We had great weather. We were very lucky. We got to play some, you know, good teams. Got to see some things that we don't normally get to see, you know, in a gym when it's raining and snowing. So yeah, it was very beneficial to this group, being that it is such a young group.
Ruben got to pitch down there. Only a few innings for him last season. What did you think of how he looked on the mound? I think we all know he can hit. I don't think that's a concern, but how did he look pitching?
I'd like to go back to last year, probably the last 2-3 weeks of the season. He was begging me to get out on that mound, and I just think we were past him. Could we have used him last year at the end of the season? Yes, but I think we had so many arms, we just wanted to, you know, keep him healthy and keep a stick in the lineup, which, you know, fast forward to this year, he's been working at it often. So he's really gotten a lot stronger, if you didn't notice. And, you know, it helps his hitting, helps his pitching, helps his fielding. So, yeah, we're looking forward to him logged some innings on the mound this year. And if it doesn't work out, you know, we still have him, you know, at third base, and we still have him at the plate.
How's the rotation looking overall, considering some of the arms you lost from last year, namely a guy who's pitching for Alabama now as a true freshman in Luke Holman?
Yeah, I mean, that's high school baseball. You know, you got to kind of bounce back the next year. And, you know, we got guys, Matt Van Ostenbridge, who's a sophomore, Owen Gang, a junior, Cole Lehman's back. We used him often last year, so he has experience on the mound. He's our leader. We have Jake Cope, who's a senior leader on the mound. So we're gonna try to, you know, figure out, you know, who's gonna be our starters, relievers, middle, and, you know, that all comes with playing the games. Then saw a little bit of that down in Myrtle, but now we want to project forward and say, okay, who's going to get the first start, the second start, who's going to be in relief. So we're trying to work that out with such a young group.
You know, looking at Ruben at the plate, obviously the power stands out, but what impressed me is he hit over 400 last season. Can you talk about his approach at the plate and the fact that he's not just, you know, we see it in the major leagues nowadays where everyone strikes out a million times and nobody seems to care, but he's a really good hitter in addition to having that power.
Look at the stat line on how many times he got hit by pitches. He got hit an awful lot.
I think it was 13.
Yeah, and he walked. So he is a disciplined hitter at the plate, and he needs to maintain that this year because, you know, having last year's lineup, they sort of had to pitch to him. This year, you know, teams might decide not to pitch to him as much. So he needs to be even more patient this year and get himself on base.
Who are some of the other players that are going to be in the lineup that maybe fans aren't aware of or people in the county aren't aware of that you're expecting to produce?
Yeah, we should be a little bit under the radar when it comes to our lineup. Rafael Fernandez, our center fielder, he'll lead off for us, you know, with a lot of speed. Nick Kirkona has just been doing a nice job in the preseason here. Looks to be like our two-hitter. Might switch him out too with Tommy Hunsinger, who's a sophomore. You know, when Ruben's pitching, we'll throw Tommy at third. Ryan Sokolsky, who was unfortunately the odd man out last year. He would have started on most teams, but he came in there. He had hardly any at-bats last year. But this year, he'll be in that four-hole right behind Ruben. And, you know, we're counting on them to kind of anchor our lineup and get us started, you know, put some pressure on teams.
When you look around the county, obviously Governor Mifflin's always good. There's a lot of buzz right now about Exeter and Muhlenberg. Coach Kopetsky has over 300 wins there. Always a team that plays good fundamental baseball. Same for Kutztown. Brandywine Heights was in the mix last season. What are your thoughts overall on the level of play within the county?
I think everyone this year has that one player that they're going to build around. You know, at Mifflin, they got Minnick. You know, Exeter has a guy, Muhlenberg has a guy, you know, and Beto. It's like they're going to build around that player and try to kind of develop, you know, their team from that one real good hitter or that one real good pitcher. Plus, like you said, there's a lot of good coaches in this county. I mean, you don't just wake up and play a baseball game. You got to really pregame and prepare for teams, you know, what they do, what their strengths are. And that's the beauty of coaching this league for quite a few years. You kind of know coaches' tendencies and what they like to do, but now you start looking at their talent and it's like, whoa, you know, they got a lot of power hitters this year, you know, or this team's really quick, or hey, this team really has a lot of good pitching. So you don't know what's going to happen. And I think the best thing you can do is sit and watch, you know, those first few non-league games, watch how other teams are doing and kind of see, you know, where you're at, where they're at. And then you look for the matchups, you know, that'll, you know, we worry about ourselves more than anything, where we're at with our non-league games. I feel like our non-league schedule is the thing that's going to kind of drive our season. You know, if we take care of business with our non-league games, I think that'll help with the league games.
Berks County's been well known for teams bunting a lot, playing small ball. Considering all the power you lost in the lineup, do you feel like your team is going to do more of that this season?
That's what we worked on today. I mean, we worked on bunting today. You know, every single player on the team, you know, got in there and got quite a few, you know, bunts and some instruction and what we want to do philosophy-wise. So, yeah, that's a bigger part of what we plan on doing this year than it was last year. First and second, no one out. You know, you got Randy Carlo coming up. You know, he gonna smack one. He ain't bunting. But you know, we have a few guys this year that can do that as well, but not as many. So we might have to move some runners, hit the ball on the right side, and get guys over to third. I think that's the name of the game. Get them on, get them over, get them in.
Bill Underwood played Division I baseball, was in the Yankees minor league system. How much does he help with your pitching staff in particular?
Bill Underwood probably would be one of the best head coaches in Berks County if he was a head coach. He's phenomenal. I mean, he does so much for me, not just baseball, but, you know, helps my family. I had him lifting steps this summer. I put a patio in and had him come over to my house and do some work. There, him and his wife come over to my house in the drop of a dime. So Bill is so valuable to me. I don't think I could do this without Bill. Bill just does so much. When it comes to the baseball mind part of it, I mean, he's got that down. I just look at him and he's already making decisions and stuff, and he's like having a co-head coach. You know, he can make decisions on his own. He doesn't need my blessing. I trust him with my kids. You know, and when I say my kids, I mean my family. But trusting him with the baseball team, heck, he's a heck of a coach.
Well, thanks for your time. Good luck this season.
Thanks.